Hi, I'm Catherine Lazorko, Communications Manager.
And I'm Maurice Jones, Town Manager for the town of Chapel Hill.
And we're joining you from Chapel Hill Town Hall to give you a brief update on council actions. But before we start, I think we probably should address a great community concern, which is the coronavirus or COVID-19. Can you tell us more about what people should be looking for updates?
Sure, of course. This has been an issue that we've all been following internationally and now nationally and now locally after a case of COVID popped up here in Wake County close to us. This is an issue that we are discussing closely. Our emergency management folks are discussing very closely with our public health officials, both locally and then also on the state level. And at this point, what we really want folks to think about is to get as much information as possible to keep themselves safe. They can go to the Orange County Health Department's website or the North Carolina website that the state has set up to provide information. They also have a helpline that folks can call into as well to find out more information about how they can keep themselves and their families safe.
Thank you. Reliable sources for information are very important, so please look for those.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that update. We know that a large topic of the council these days is economic development.
That's right.
The East Rosemary Street redevelopment project is on the docket for the council review. What does this project entail?
So it's a major project that could really transform our downtown. And in essence, it's an exchange of properties with Grubb Properties, which owns the CVS deck on East Rosemary Street. The town owns the Wallace deck, which is also on East Rosemary Street. And the proposal is to, in essence, exchange those properties, plus maybe a property that's adjacent to the CVS deck that would come into the town's hands. The town would give Grubb Properties the Wallace deck. There'd be a exchange of those properties. And what would happen is the town would build a 1,100 space parking garage in that space where the CVS deck is currently, and then in the future, Grubb would also build a 200,000 square foot office building that would have up to 800 jobs and would serve as an innovation hub for our downtown. So it's an exciting project and possibility. Council's been talking about that now for a little while, and they approved a memorandum of understanding that would outline the agreement that would put into place, and council approved that MOU, and then they also gave permission by approving that permission to the staff to go and negotiate an economic development agreement with Grubb with the hopes of having the parking garage entitled by the end of June, and with construction beginning on that in the fall. So great benefits that could come out of this if approved. One is the 800 new jobs in downtown. There'd be some additional parking. The parking would be consolidated into a parking garage, which would allow for some other development opportunities in downtown. And then in addition to that, with the 800 jobs, it's not just the jobs, it's obviously the people who are in those jobs and the ripple effect that it could have on our downtown businesses as well. So it's an exciting opportunity, and we'll see how the process moves forward in the next few months.
That's interesting. New jobs, more investment in downtown. It's exciting.
It is. And in addition to that, it's an opportunity to improve the streetscape along East Rosemary Street, and then to also add some green space into Rosemary Street, because it's part of the project that they were talking about with the 200,000 square foot office building. There's one mini kind of pocket park associated with that, and then another one that would be located on a portion of what is Lot 2 in downtown as well.
Okay. Well, speaking of downtown Chapel Hill, of course, Well.Dot Inc. announced that it was establishing its corporate headquarters on West Franklin Street. Mm-hmm. The council took a recent action. Can you describe that?
Sure. They formally voted for the incentive package that we had negotiated with Well.Dot back in the fall of last year to help entice them to stay in Chapel Hill. They were looking at Boston, Massachusetts. They were also looking at Durham. And so we have an incentive package that's part of this, along with the state, to help keep them here and grow their business here in Chapel Hill. So far, they have already exceeded the time frame in which they would bring these new jobs into our downtown. It's anticipated that by the time they're all said and done with their expansion, it'll be 400 employees. They had anticipated having 110 employees by the year 2022. They've already reached that number. So they're excited about their opportunities here in Chapel Hill, and we're excited to have them. Once again, having 400 employees introduced into our downtown will certainly have a positive effect on the businesses that are around there.
My understanding is that it is the first economic incentive that Chapel Hill has received from the state of North Carolina.
Yes, and we had
So-
a big announcement back in December where the governor came and other representatives, also working with our friends in Orange County to provide some level of incentive on this program. So we're really excited to have WellDOT in our downtown, and will lead, we hope, to additional folks wanting to settle and keep their jobs here in Chapel Hill.
A lot of news for downtown Chapel Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
Speaking again of dollar signs, the council is looking at its budget for next year. What can the public know about that now? And
We are just beginning that process, and in February we had our first discussion over the budget, just a preliminary discussion as part of a public forum. We will be presenting to council on March 18th at a work session about not only some preliminary information about the budget for the next fiscal year, but then also talking about our 5-year budget strategy that the staff has been working on. And after that, we'll have a couple more opportunities for folks to hear about the budget before it's formally presented at our first meeting in May. And then even after that, there will be public hearings and opportunities for folks to weigh in on the budget for the next fiscal year. So it'll be a long process and plenty of opportunities for folks to state their opinion about what we should be investing our funds in.
okay. All right. Any other updates from the council for this one?
Well, the one other thing, which was a lot of fun to talk about, was the community survey results.
Yes.
Because once again, the folks who live here in Chapel Hill, our residents, rated us very highly, rated Chapel Hill as a great place to live. I believe it was 93% of our respondents to this community survey felt that Chapel Hill was a great place to live. And they rated our services very highly as well. So we really appreciate that. We appreciate the support that our residents give the town of Chapel Hill and the tools that they allow us to have to provide those services to folks. And it really does pay off when we hear those positive responses from our community.
Consistently ranking as a high-performing city.
Absolutely.
The employees should feel really proud of that. Well,
And our community as well.
in our community, yes. All right. Well, I think that about sums up our update for this month. I hope you will check the website for more information or give us a call. Thank you.
Take care.